The Chinese regime is engaged in many wars. It's fighting what it calls a people's war against the Wuhan virus. It's fighting a territorial war to usurp land it does not control. And it's fighting a narrative war against anything that challenges its endeavors, or what the world popularly calls propaganda. Tonight, we'll take you inside China's propaganda machine. How does it work in the new era? How does the CCP control the narrative, and who calls the shots? We have compiled some data based on an analysis by Macro Polo. It's a think tank that decodes China's so-called road to rejuvenation, which, by the way, is Xi Jinping's favorite political theme and catchphrase, rejuvenation. Well, here's what we found. Propaganda is instrumental in the political system of China. The Communist Party has an entirely separate wing dedicated for it. It's called the Central Propaganda Department, CPD. This department was established way back in 1924. It's as old as the CCP, the Communist Party of China, which was formed just 3 years earlier in 1921. Now, this department, the CPD, is responsible for all party publicity. It supervises every bit of information in China and abroad. And it is under the direct control of Xi Jinping, the president, who has put his loyalists in this department from top to bottom. They control the apparatus. Let me show you a flowchart of how this body controls the media. There are 4 separate wings: the print media, the broadcast, book publishing, and the internet. The print media is controlled by the CPD News Bureau. An offshoot of this bureau is the CCP National Newspaper System. Broadcast media, managed by the State Administration of Radio and Television, SART. This is a ministerial-level government agency under the direct control of the State Council. This body controls the likes of CCTV and other local subsidiaries. Book publishing is managed by the CPD Press, and the Internet is controlled by the Cyberspace Administration of China. This is the Central Propaganda Department's ecosystem. What does it tell you? That the Communist Party wields decisive control over every media activity in China. There is no such thing as free media. The Communist Party controls the narrative and the tools that shape it. Every major media house in China reports to the Communist Party. There are several party agencies at different levels that control the media. Let me show you the hierarchy. There are 4 different levels again. At the top is the ministerial level. The Communist Party controls the Xinhua News Agency. Then there's the People's Daily, the largest print media group in China. At the vice ministerial level, there's CCTV, the Economic Daily, Seeking Truth, a bi-monthly periodical, and the PLA Daily, the mouthpiece of the People's Liberation Army, also Guangming Daily. Then we have the bureau level. At this level, the Communist Party controls the Global Times, Study Times, managed by the Central Party School. This is for the indoctrination of school kids. And Ta Kung Pao, one of the oldest Chinese language newspapers and Beijing's propaganda tool in Hong Kong. And then comes the division level, the bottom in the Chinese hierarchy. At this level, the Communist Party controls Southern Weekend, Beijing News, controlled by the Beijing Municipal Propaganda Department, and The Paper. This is run by the Shanghai United Media Group. Why are we giving you these complicated flowcharts? To help you understand the reach, the dragon shadow falls on the entire media terrain in China and outside China. Look at their reach outside. And this is just one example that we have. According to the US Justice Department, the CCP's propaganda outlet, the China Daily, paid American newspapers nearly $19 million for paid news, for advertisements and printing expenses in the past 4 years. $19 million. One report says the New York Times and Foreign Policy were also paid tens of thousands of dollars in advertising. And you can see the result. Most of these media outlets praised China's successful handling of the coronavirus outbreak. Back in China, there's no question of independent thinking, no mention of the regime's crimes. The media only exists to convince the world about the Communist Party's legitimacy and to justify its culture of secrecy. What the world calls journalism is public relations in China. The journalists only print what the Communist Party wants printed.